Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
94.1 San Antonio's Sports Center.
ESPN NBA insider Shams Charania reports that Spurs head coach and team president Greg Popovich is not expected to return to the team this season, and his future with the organization is also uncertain. He is recovering from suffering a mild stroke back in November. Speaking of the Spurs, they'll look to bounce back from their loss to the Pelicans as they're in New Orleans again tomorrow night. Tip-off set for 7 o'clock.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
This is Extra Innings with Pleasure.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Rock and roll! The Texans win it!
You've been called the Da Vinci of our time. What do you say to that?
Absolutely ridiculous. I don't paint.
That goal is history! A walk-off home run!
And it's going to be legendary.
James Pledger wraps your day with insight, opinion, plenty of sarcasm, and of course, your calls. He'll even pour a beer out the door for his favorite story of the day. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. Now, here's Pledge. What's up,
Welcome into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I am James Pledger right here. You can follow me on all the social media platforms at I Am Pledger. Follow the station at SA Sports Star. As a matter of fact, if you're listening on 94.1 FM, I'm hoping we got our issues fixed. If not, multitude of ways to listen. You can always listen at sasportstar.com via our AA Best Bail Bonds audio player or via YouTube. As far as I know, I've heard no complaints about YouTube so far today. Just go to YouTube, search at SA Sports Star. Go ahead, like, subscribe. You can comment along with the show, or just feel free to call in at 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776 if you want to be a part of the conversation. You're always welcome to join in, no matter what we're talking about. And, you know, as one thing, it's become a tradition on the Morning Huddle for them to kick off the week by talking about the losers from the weekend.
Let's do what we were supposed to do at 8:30 and talk about the losers.
You lose. You are such a loser. You're a bona fide schmuck.
Time now to find out who blew it this weekend. The losers.
You bunch of losers! Look who's back. It's the loser.
I'm going back to a better class of losers.
With AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Hello, losers.
There we go. Rob, I'll let you take the lead on this. Who's your big loser of the week? This is where we point out people's failings over the weekend.
I'm going to throw this on Purdue.
Oh, that's a good one.
There was a blood and guts game, Purdue, Indiana, over the weekend, and it was the 40th anniversary of Bob Knight, for those who recall. In that very game 40 years ago, Bob Knight, upset at a call, grabs his chair, throws it across the basketball court, and the rest is history. Thrown out. Yeah. That was really not the beginning, but it was part of those pieces. That was the end of his time there at Indiana. Yesterday, they bring the chair back out. Mike Woodson sits in it, and they proceed to beat the snot out of their cross-state rival.
Wow.
I don't know who the bigger loser was, whether it was the chair or Purdue or Matt Painter, but somebody lost in there. I'm glad that they did what they did, but come on, Purdue. That was a game that you probably should have won, and the chair beat you yet again.
Womp,
womp, womp,
womp, womp. I'll start with Anthony Rizzo, and I hate to put him in here, but it does kind of feel this way because it's like being a girl who's like, I wish that someone would dance with me, but no one wants to dance with me. Anthony Rizzo is a 14-year major league veteran. Mm-hmm. He is a multiple-time All-Star, I think 4 or 5-time Gold Glove winner.
And I don't think he'll ever have to buy lunch in Chicago again.
I don't think so either.
You know, he's part of history.
And he says, like, spring training games are underway, and he's like, yeah, I really want to play on a baseball team, and no one's calling me. No one wants me. The Yankees declined. He had like a big $17 million option, and the Yankees said, "Yeah, no thanks." And he's made $128 million in his career. He's doing okay. It's not like he's going to go broke, but when you come out and you go, "Yeah, I really want to play. I'm waiting on a phone call," but now all these spring training games are going, and like I'm not getting any calls. I think this might just be it. I might be having to retire. Like,
he's kind of hamstrung because there's a league minimum he can't go beneath, right? So they have to pay him a certain dollar amount, or he can't play for him.
And then he is this is the thing. Apparently, a couple teams have offered him the league minimum, which is $760,000.
I didn't know he could take that.
Well, that's what that's
okay. He can take that. Okay.
Well, there is a lower league minimum, but for the veteran league minimum is $760,000. And he says, I can't do that because then I'm hurting guys down the road. I'm like, I'm hurting.
Shut up, Rizzo.
Yeah.
Seriously? That's a man with you don't want to play. As soon as I hear him say that, I'm not going to take the league minimum because I'm keeping another dude from getting paid. You don't want to play.
Yeah, that's kind of my thought.
Seriously? No, I'm thinking about the other guy. Yeah. I'm holding out for a management position.
Where are you going next?
Losers. This is a tough weekend for losers, because I didn't see anything that just kind of fell out of the you've really embarrassed yourself. Sam Darnold is not a loser, but Sam Darnold had a losing weekend. The moment that Sam Darnold's agent found out that suddenly Stafford might be nosing around, Darnold's options suddenly are now predicated on somebody else. And that's never good.
No.
So I think while Darnold's he's got the world as he's got really good opportunity here to make a whole bunch of money and go make a difference. Suddenly he's in competition with somebody else. And I do think that if I'm Darnold or his people, I'm not happy with where I sit today because now there's a plan B for those that didn't have one on Friday when Sam Darnold was involved.
I can see that. I'll go to the UFC for my next loser. And I think it kind of is the UFC in this case because they had a really awesome event this weekend in Seattle. Every fight on the prelims was a finish. Like everybody was getting knocked out or subbed, which is always ideal. Like you want that action. And I mean, there was a buzz leading up to this big main event. And in the main event, Henry Cejudo, former champion, got poked in the eye. Sat around for 5 minutes. And then restarted the fight. And then at the end of the round, came to his stool and said, I can't see. I'm seeing two of him. And they said, well, do you want the fight to end? And he said, yes.
So is that go down as a TKO?
No, because over half the fight had been completed.
Okay.
If under half the fight is completed, they would call it a no contest on an accidental eye poke. If they were to deem that the foul was intentional, it would be a disqualification. But because it was deemed unintentional, after half the rounds are fought, you go to the scorecards and they decide there. So after the fans were booing because Henry Cejudo took his full 5-minute allotment, and the fans were like, "What the hell?" So then they restart the fight. There was only like a minute left in the round. He finishes that 1 minute, and then he says he wants out, and they call off the fight. And then they go to the scorecards, and Henry Cejudo loses. And it's like,
that sucks.
Well,
oh man, we'll rematch.
They asked Dana White after in the press conference, they were like, is there going to be a rematch booked? And Dana White said, no. He's like, do you want to see it again? No, nobody wants to see it again. If he was like, if Henry wanted to keep fighting, he would have fought. And so he's like, that's it.
It's good to be the king.
But it sucked that whole event was great. There's all these great finishes, great knockouts. And then
he was like, I freaking won?
Yeah.
He was getting changed in the shower. I won?
Yeah.
Let's see. The NFL is admitting defeat, it appears.
That doesn't happen.
Well, if we're not necessarily losers, but maybe we're losers because we had to sit through at least 1 year of this bad kickoff thing. It appears that today, or at least over this next week, as the governors gather, that the NFL is going to try to fix the onside kick rule.
Oh, I'm for this.
That looks like they'll as quickly as possible. they'll implement either in the last 2 minutes. I think if in the fourth quarter you're down by 14 or more, you should be able to invoke this.
Wasn't part of that like the element of surprise?
Well,
that
kind
right?
of. You're not gonna be able to do that anymore. But on the other side of that, 4th and 15 from your 35, you complete it, you get to carry on. At least you give yourself a better opportunity than this silly thing. So as far as losers, I think the losers are us who had to sit through this year of teams not quite trying to figure out how to do this. And then at the same time, juxtaposing that with college football, who's still doing it the old way, that's so much more fun. At least they might have found a fix for at least late game antics. So I think we had to lose by sitting and watching this, and maybe we'll get it fixed with a 4th and 15 from the 35.
I'm for that. Former All-Pro receiver Steve Smith Sr. had a rough weekend. A man named Tony Martinez found out that Steve Smith Sr. was banging his wife. Now, Steve Smith, obviously a former Baltimore Raven, now an NFL Network analyst, who is also married and has 4 kids, was banging Martinez's wife. And which, by the way, I never think this is a good idea. Like, if you find out someone's banging your wife, I generally don't think the best idea is to put all of her business and your business out on Twitter for everyone to see. Oh, yeah. But he was like, he tagged everybody in it. He tagged Antonio Brown. He tagged the Panthers. He tagged the Ravens. He tagged ESPN, TMZ, NFL Network. He even tagged TaylorMade Golf and Yeti Coolers.
Anybody with sponsor money. I bet he looked at all of his sponsors. Anybody he's endorsing.
Yep.
The money is gone.
And he posted all these filthy messages. And Tony's wife, a freak, by the way. She's but either way, Tony's wife also works for the Ravens as a marching band member. Yeah.
That's how they met.
Yeah.
I don't know what instrument she plays, but
probably the flute.
She played for the marching band, which would have been the organization I would have thought it'd been the cheerleaders, but no.
Now
she plays tuba.
Now, because he found these messages, he had Steve Smith's phone number, and he also posted a call that he made to Steve Smith. He gets him on speakerphone. He says,
"Hey, man."
He says, "Steve Smith," and Steve goes, "Yep," and he goes, "Hey, you're effing my wife." And then it's just silence.
Have to be more precise.
There's silence, and then he goes, "What do you have to say for yourself?" And then he's quiet for a second, then he goes, "Sorry."
He was trying to figure out which husband was calling. Oops.
Yeah, which husband?
Whoops.
Who are you again?
Yeah. Steve Smith, but he got married in college. He's had the same wife since 2000.
I think she's an understanding woman. I don't think this is the first time this has come up.
Okay.
You get the sense.
Okay. Now, all of this has since been deleted off the internet, but as we know, the internet
it's never deleted.
It's forever.
Yeah, it's there. But I would say Steve Smith, this was not on his bingo card for him to wake up and have TaylorMade Golf and Yeti Coolers and find out that he was banging this guy's wife.
TaylorMade's like, man, we had Tiger, man. You bring me something that's interesting. We had Tiger Woods, man. Oh, no, he wasn't TaylorMade, was he?
No, he was Nike.
Bring me something interesting. We had Tiger banging waitresses in the back of a Friendlies. This is just an extramarital affair. Poor yawn.
All right.
To be concerned about this.
Oh man, who are you losers from the week? Fred Casares says that Mitch Johnson is the biggest loser of the week. Jacob Eric says it's the father who took the Wemby jersey away from the kid. Those are some really good losers from this week, guys. I must say, those are really, really good losers to have, because with the news that came out about Pop over the weekend from Shams Charania and his future being in doubt, where are we with Mitch Johnson, and where are we with the San Antonio Spurs now that we've shut Wemby and perceived to have shut down Pop for the rest of the year? Is it time to start thinking about that T word? What are your thoughts? 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. We'll talk about it next, right here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Tuesday on the Morning Huddle, Burr's life without Pop and Wemby continues. We'll talk about the things that got to be done.
And the NFL's offseason begins this week. Let's talk about the Combine and what the teams need around these Texas parks. All that and more. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
George gets justice.
Hurt in a wreck? Get George. Hit by an 18-wheeler or commercial truck? Get George. Injured at work? Get George. When you're dealing with personal injury, you need to get George because George gets justice. I'm George Salinas, and my San Antonio-based firm has been recognized across the state of Texas and the United States. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com.
George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson from my good friends over at Prize Picks. Hoops are here, baby. It's time to turn the page and start playing games we can win. And now you can win up to 1,000 times your money over on Prize Picks just for doing what you love, watching basketball and picking those that you like. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money on sports action. There's over 10 million of us doing it. You should be there too. And right now, there's no better time to get in on the hoops action. If you think Steph Curry can get more than 5 3-pointers this week, now's the time. Is the freak going to get 35? I don't know. I do know this. I feel comfortable Wemby's going to get a couple of blocks. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5, and you don't even need to win. You can receive a $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. And have you ever played Taco Tuesday? That's right. Each Tuesday, Prize Picks offers promotions that can lead to big payouts. Here's how you play. Go download the app today and use the code ALAMO to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. I'll say it again. Download the app, use the code ALAMO, and get $50 instantly after you play your first lineup. Prize Picks. Go run your game.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at TSAOG.com.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time and switch to the expensive shampoo with amino acids. Sure, you don't know what those are or why you need them, but it sounds very impressive. And if you switch and save hundreds, you can massage it into your scalp every day. Now, if only you can get people to lean toward your head to smell those aminos. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For shampoo. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Are you annoyingly inattentive? Do you watch a movie and then ask a zillion questions because you weren't paying attention? Do people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. Mattress Firm's President's Day sale is happening now. Get a king bed for a queen price. Save up to $700 plus a free adjustable base with select Sealy mattresses. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or mattressfirm.com for details.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
Oh, by the way, Ivan's no longer on the project. His wife got a new job, so they're moving across the country.
Robin's top researcher is deviating to a new market. This isn't standard.
And now we're short-staffed. Who's going to finish all these projects?
She needs a cluster of new data analysts, and there's no margin for error.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
If you've been waiting to hear Macy's winter clearance,
Now's the time. Get everything you've been eyeing all season long at prices that are worth the wait. How good? Think 40 to 70% off coats, sweaters, boots, and more. Plus, come in and get an extra 20% off all your clearance purchases. That's up to 75% off. So if you've been waiting to treat yourself to something cute and cozy, hurry into Macy's tomorrow because you're not the only one ready to score amazing winter deals. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Calling all snack MVPs, it's time to huddle up with Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, the low-carb, high-protein snack with a flavor-packed crunch. From sea salt and cracked black pepper to hot honey, sweet barbecue, and more, these bold bites are ready to tackle your crunch time cravings. Find your flavor playbook at H-E-B and make every bite count. Because when it's crunch time, there's only one snack you need on your team. Southern Recipe Small Batch.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
T-Mobile 5G home internet keeps getting better. Get our fastest connection loaded with benefits. Get T-Mobile's best home internet starting at $55 a month with auto pay and any voice line. Plus, Price Lock. We won't raise your rate on internet. Check availability at T-Mobile.com/home internet.
Exclusions like taxes and fees apply. Guarantees regular monthly rate plan price of fixed wireless 5G internet data with qualifying service. After $15 bill credit with postpaid voice line plus $5 a month without auto pay with debit or bank account. Regulatory fees included for qualifying accounts. $35 connection charge applies. Speeds vary due to factors affecting cellular networks.
It's Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star 94.1 FM, SASportsStar.com. I am James Pledger. Appreciate y'all running along with me tonight here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Maybe you're listening on YouTube at SA Sports Star. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We're also on Facebook, Twitch at SA Sports Star, or online at SASportsStar.com. I appreciate all y'all for riding along, and it's very interesting to it has been quite the season for the San Antonio Spurs, filled with a whole lot of strife, hardships, and just bad luck, it seems like, despite some very powerful things that have happened, like trading for De'Aaron Fox, that you would assume would help elevate and fast forward this team. But of course, losing Wemby here late last week and the future of Greg Popovich and losing him as early in the season as you did has kind of put this things into a we're not sure mode. Earlier today on the Blitz, Jason and Joe were discussing if it's time to maybe stop thinking about wins and start thinking about lottery balls.
You know, De'Aaron Fox, day after the trade, I said, difference between play-in and playoff. All those are gone now. And I being off late last week, Wemby with what he's going through, and weird because I don't want to call it an injury because it's more of a condition that he's dealing with right now. Then the news over the weekend from Shams that Pop isn't going to return this offseason, according to his sources, which doesn't surprise me. Why would he? With no Wemby, your chances of the playoffs are done.
Well, and maybe he's not doing as well as we hope.
Well, maybe there was a setback, but there were some reports that after the All-Star break, he was planning on returning. There were reports that he was at the facility, although I do find it interesting. While there were reports, there were no photos.
Yeah.
There was, those fans that hang out there and see who's coming and going and trying to get autographs every day and that sort of stuff. Not one of them posted a picture of Pop driving his car there. Mm-hmm. I mean, I read all that, but I haven't seen anything that says Pop was out and about. But the reports were maybe after the All-Star break. Now, done for the year, and the way Shams wrote, maybe maybe forever.
Could be forever, yeah.
But you look at with the hand that the Spurs have been dealt with the Wemby situation, the idea that at this point, I read they have the 7th toughest schedule remaining in the NBA. It is now the goal as many lottery balls as you can get. I mean, you weren't planning on tanking this year, although they're not playing good basketball. They had a 17-point lead yesterday and blew it. Their starters all sucked yesterday. De'Aaron Fox needs offseason surgery. Do you just get him the surgery now? I mean, what is the point of the rest of this season when you look at what they're trying to accomplish, or is the better business goal? And it's funny, we talked about this prior to the Wemby news. When they finally surpassed last year's win total, but still not playing great basketball, is it better business to get into the lottery as opposed to fighting for the play-in? With no Wemby, I'm all for do what you can to get into the lottery and try to get a Cooper flag.
I don't think they have a choice. I'll be honest with you. They don't have a choice. With the schedule they have, they're not going to win enough games to get into the play-in. That's out the window. It just depends on what you want to do. I mean, the whole season's just been a disaster, right, for the Spurs. I mean, it really has with everything that's happened. But last night was just, I mean, it's like these guys just learned how to shoot yesterday. And they couldn't hit the ocean in a boat. I mean, it was awful. The shooting, I mean, Devin Vassell, 1 of 9. Chris Paul, 1 of 10. De'Aaron Fox, 3 of 16. Nobody could hit a shot.
There was a lid on the basket. And Devin hasn't played well as of late. Mitch Johnson, pretty frank when it comes to Devin. He's got to keep shooting and stop trying to remember. And I don't know. It's an interesting comment from Mitch Johnson.
You know, Devin's a really good player. He's a tremendous offensive player. People go through that in their career. If I could have any message, which I've told him before, I hope he shoots the ball. I hope he shoots it more. I hope he shoots with more confidence, with more aggressiveness. And I wish he would not care so much. And that's sometimes the problem when you got good guys and people that really want to play for their team. And at some point, you just got to not give a, you know what.
Yeah. See, I guess I'm not sure exactly what that means. You just go out there and shoot and clank it off the rim. I don't know what honestly that means.
I think I interpret that is Devin's thinking too much. He's putting too much pressure on himself. Tired of letting everybody down, and he just needs to go out there and play free and play loose and see the bat and keep shooting. Shooters shoot their way out of a slump. I mean, that's what he's.
Well, Devin's been in a slump for a little while now, and he keeps shooting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, and again, you have a big lead, it goes away. I mean, the entire team was 33% shooting, 32 of 97. I mean, it's hard to miss that many shots when you're an NBA player. I mean, Biyombo's the only one that played well last night.
Well, and Keldon Johnson did, to be fair. Keldon Johnson played well. He shot well, but he's about the only guy that did. I don't know. You're losing to a New Orleans team that had won 13 games going into last night's game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're not good. So, look, I don't know. I just this collection of Spurs right now are just. I mean, it's not the future. And that's what I keep saying. I mean, let's move on and get to the future. Now, everybody's saying, oh, this reminds me of David Robinson getting hurt. And then they got the lottery. And here's old Timmy. And there's a big old picture of Cooper flag.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's like, come on.
There's hope, man.
Well, there is.
And
and as lucky as the Spurs are, hell, I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, the NBA gods love the San Antonio
Spurs.
You, man. But I mean, even like last night's game, I'm flying back from Phoenix, and obviously the game isn't available on TV, but I'm watching the score. They've got a big lead, land, get to the car, drive, go eat.
And I'm seeing the fourth quarter going, what the? I mean, they got outscored 39-17 in the fourth quarter. What happened? I mean, I didn't see any of the game, or much of it. And what I did see was when it had already gone completely south and that 17-point lead was completely erased. But at one point, Pelicans are up 21. I mean, just the swings. They started hitting shots. Spurs couldn't hit anything. But you also wonder, is it better for the Spurs? While this year was not about tanking, last year, 2 years ago, definitely 2 years ago, it was the improvement, everything you're trying to go through to see the improvement. But with no Wemby for the rest of the year, for them to shut him down for the rest of the year, I would say, De'Aaron Fox, go get your surgery now and make sure you're ready to go for the start of the season. And they've got to figure out what's going to happen at the front office, whether that's Pop's decision, whether that's Peter Holt Jr.'s decision, whether it's a group decision. But they need to regroup as an organization and figure out how they are moving forward, whether Pop is just in the front office, some sort of advisory role, emeritus role, president, coach, whatever that is. But you look at what's left of this season, the only way to win is to continue to lose basketball games and increase your lottery odds, whether it's for Cooper Flagg or whoever else is going to be in the lottery, especially looking at Atlanta's pick, unprotected, but they're likely not in the lottery. So the best you can do for this season is increase your draft stock for next year.
Is it? Look, I have been the proponent of Team Tank, but you supposedly got the piece you needed with Wemby, and then you traded for De'Aaron Fox. I mean, how long and many draft picks do you need? I mean, you've got the potential rookie of the year in Stephon Castle, right? Like, at some point, there has to be improvement, right? And at what point is this either on the coaching, the style of play, or just the pieces you're surrounding with? Because, look, the fact that Bismack Biyombo on a second 10-day contract happens to be the absolute best big man you have on your roster right now. I mean, you're rolling with Charles Bassey as basically your number one big outside of Wemby. That's not great roster construction. So, I mean, is it player acquisition or is it loyalty to players that have been in the system for as long as they have? Because we have Devin Vassell, who God forbid, can't go to the bench for whatever reason, it seems like, even though Steph Castle has played better in the starting lineup than has Devin Vassell. I'm wondering what's the tipping point for this team, or are they also trying to lose? Because at some point you have to learn how to win. As Renji says on our YouTube league, you got to learn how to win by trying. Yes, you have to win by trying. And I don't feel like this team has tried to win enough in the immediate past. And you got to change the mentality of this team at some point. And I thought bringing in Chris Paul and bringing in Harrison Barnes and trading for De'Aaron Fox, I thought those were them turning the page into trying to learn to win. But they haven't even been close to winning. And I get it. Sometimes you try and you fail. Trying to win and losing close games is one thing. Trying to win and still getting blown out in some of the fashions they have, in some of the same fashions that they have in previous years where they let big leads slip away. Those are two different things. That is them not learning from their mistakes constantly. And no matter who you're putting in, at some point, those mistakes are still the same mistakes. And this dates back 4, 5, 6 years now. Those are the issues that I have an issue with. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. When we come back, NFL Combine's coming up. Some are playing, some aren't playing the game. Is it bad for them in their stock? We'll discuss coming up next right here on Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 FM.
The Blitz is going to Vegas. Come along for an unforgettable Mega March weekend at Circa Las Vegas, March 27th through the 30th for opening day and the second weekend of the tournament. Thursday, March 27th, celebrate the start of the baseball season and watch all the games at the world's largest sportsbook, plus the ultimate March Hoops experience. Take in the action in the 6 pools and the 143-foot screen at Stadium Swim. Book now and use promo code BLITZ at circalasvegas.com. And join Jason and Joe at Circa Resort and Casino.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-505-9603, 800-505-9603, 800-505-9603.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it.
Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 to learn more. With AutoPay plus taxes and fees, plus $5 per line without AutoPay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Motorola Edge on us with 24 monthly bill credits and new line for well-qualified customers, plus tax and $35 per line connection charge. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted to walk up with central air and a skylight, and you found it. Now, every Friday night, you get to fall asleep to the sound of your downstairs neighbors' dance parties. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states.
Guys, if you ever spend time on social media, you'll often find yourself just being hit with bad news and worse comments, and you'll see how everybody's life is so picture perfect, and they've got this great job promotion, and you're wondering, man, where am I? It's hard not to get wrapped up in how everyone else is doing. Imagine how you'd feel if you just spent 45 minutes focused on how you're doing. That's what they're about at Cerebral. They make it easier than ever to access dedicated therapists and doctor-prescribed medication personalized to you. And the best part, Cerebral offers in-network care so you can focus on feeling better without worrying about the cost. If you're dealing with stress, anxiety, you want to be more present and focused, you want to sleep better, you want to have better relationships, you've got to work on yourself. Cerebral is proud to be an official sponsor of the San Antonio Spurs. Just like athletes prioritize their physical health, mental health is just as important, and Cerebral's here to help you build a strong foundation for your overall being. So take the first step today. Visit Cerebral.com to see how affordable and accessible mental health care can be with insurance. Cerebral, make time for mind time.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Right now at North Park Chevrolet. Own a new 2024 Silverado Crew Cab posted at $33,999 or lease for $0 down and $370 a month. Get 1.9% financing on all new 2024 Colorado trucks. A new 2025 Equinox LT is posted at only $25,999 plus 2.9% financing. Together, let's drive at North Park Chevrolet. 10 minutes outside Loop 410 in Castroville or at npchevy.com. Let's qualify for financing offers. Call 830-355-2107 for full price and offer details.
This is the home of the Aggies, and this is Andrew Monaco. You're locked on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. So, with the decision of so many today, including Shedeur Sanders, not to work out at the Combine, is it a big deal that these guys aren't working out? Well, AJ and Rob were talking about it this morning on the Morning Huddle.
So Shedeur Sanders, what on earth does Shedeur Sanders have to gain by anybody seeing him throw? There's only thing that could happen to Shedeur Sanders throwing. Well, there's two things. One is to confirm what is believed, and that could be either great or awful. Or two, it could absolutely ruin you. One or the other. Oh, yeah. You're a one or a two. Either it's going to be you or Cam Ward. And if you do absolutely nothing from here on out, you're a top 10 pick.
Yes.
So what on earth is in it for you to go throw in front of anybody?
Shedeur Sanders led the country with a 74% completion rate. That seems good. Was the Big 12 leader in passing yards, touchdowns, completions, attempts, yards per game. You're right. Like there's no way to screw anything up. I guess the only thing is if you want to be the first pick, maybe.
Yeah, that's a worthy aspiration.
Although the last 3 years, last year, the top three picks, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, the top three quarterbacks that went, not one of them threw at the Combine.
Because they knew the same thing that Shedeur knows, and so does Cam. There is nothing that can happen here that can help. Nothing. Now, you can go interview. I want you to stand. I want you to look good. In fact, before you walk out of the crowd, I want you to do about 50 push-ups and sit-ups. I want you to get a little yoked before you walk out and do your interviews. I want you to look like the dude. But you ain't going to go out there and prove anything. Next time anybody sees you throw will be in the jersey for which you have just signed that $50 million, so whatever signing bonus you're going to get. So
you're not even going to do individual workouts?
No, I'm going to do individual workouts for those 5 that are going to draft, but that's the only time. And it's only going to be for them. I'm not going to allow one bad day to ruin my chances with every team.
I agree with that. And I will say, like, it's getting to the point where guys are going to be like, hey, I'm not even doing individual workouts. You can check my tape. The first time a guy does that, I'm saying, all right, man, you're off my board.
Yeah, I'm not going to touch that.
I don't want you. Like, we're asking me to make a massive investment in you. I get you've got this tape. I want to see if you can do the things I ask you to do.
Right. That's the extent of where we are now.
But we have gotten to where, if you're a top-level guy, you can just say, no, I'm not going to work out. I'm not going to throw.
Because now they have even one more option in that I'll just go back to school.
Well, I think can Shedeur go back to school?
Well, it depends on where they've hired agents or not. But, I mean, there is the option if everything goes south, I can still go back and make $5 million, if I don't buy the agent and do all that kind of stuff. So I'm not going to do anything to hurt my value. Now, there's some dudes that need to go work out. I'm not saying this is the right strategy for everybody.
Sure.
There's some dudes that need to go throw. Quinn, you're going to have to go throw, man.
Oh, yeah.
You better look good doing it. And I expect that he will. But he has to throw. Shedeur and Cam, they don't have to throw. Neither did Jaden, and neither did. I mean, if you're the dude, don't disprove it. Let somebody else make up something.
Well, and that seems to be the case. I mean, it seems that those two guys are the lock first rounders. Anybody else is a maybe. If you're a maybe, I mean, because I've heard Quinn Ewers from first pick of the second round to fourth round, and it's like, okay, you've got some people to win over. If you think that you should be a first round pick and you're not being talked about as a first round pick, you want to earn it, go earn it.
Then you will have every bit of spotlight. It's good. This is a good thing for most of the quarterbacks.
It is. And look, I don't fault Shedeur for sitting out or Cam Ward or anybody else, their positions are set. Guys like yours, guys like Jackson Dart, I think have a lot to gain by going and throwing. Remember, CJ Stroud threw at the combine. There's going to be guys that do, guys that don't. And there are successes and failures on both sides of that coin, on guys that have and have not thrown at the NFL scouting combine. You've got to go back and do your study, your evaluation as a player. Abdul Carter's one of the latest names that is not going to work out at the combine. Ashton Genty's not going to do drills at the combine. Do you take them off your board because of it? Or do you just evaluate the tape a little bit harder and we'll see you at your pro day? And that's what pro days are for. We'll see a lot of these guys at their pro day actually do things with players that they're comfortable with instead of throwing to guys that they've probably just met for the first time when they step on the field that day in terms of actually working out with them. It doesn't benefit the guys who are already projected to be high draft assets. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. When we come back, Stephen Jones, Dallas Cowboys, he talked today. We'll let you know what he said out at the NFL Scouting Combine and how to take it. That's all coming up here on Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Gomez Law Firm is one of the most trusted names in personal injury law across the state of Texas. We have Jose here with the Gomez Law Firm to share what makes working with your firm different than others in the area.
We pride ourselves as being an open line of communications. We don't have an automated service. You're not going to ever dial our phone number and get some robot on the other line. You're always going to get a person 24/7. Our principal office is here in San Antonio. Mr. Gomez was born and raised here, practicing law here in San Antonio in his community for 50 years. There are not many attorneys that can say that.
Thank you to the Gomez Law Firm for continuing to fight for our community. The Gomez Law Firm is San Antonio.
If you've been injured, if you've been involved in an accident, you've been involved in a car wreck, call the Gomez Law Firm.
Visit joegomezlaw.com. That's joegomezlaw.com for one of the most trusted names in personal injury.
And remember, Gomez Law fights.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Are you annoyingly inattentive? Do you watch a movie and then ask a zillion questions because you weren't paying attention? Do people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. Mattress Firm's President's Day sale is happening now. Get a king bed for a queen price. Save up to $700 plus a free adjustable base with select Sealy mattresses. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or mattressfirm.com for details.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a walk-up with central air and a skylight. And you found it. Now, every Friday night, you get to fall asleep to the sound of your downstairs neighbors' dance parties. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Spring forward with real unlimited data from Straight Talk this tax season and get a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2024 with select plans. So you can stream games during Mad March hours, check the weather for April showers, and watch gardening videos about May flowers. Straight Talk, real unlimited data, available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 4/15/25. Taxes and fees apply. Requires purchase of single line Gold Unlimited plan or higher. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Welcome, John, our new admin lead.
Thanks.
You've got your laptop, all your admin apps. Oh, and you'll be in charge of ordering food for the team. So here's your drawer full of menus.
Whoa.
You'll keep your receipts in this file folder. Whoops, receipt confetti.
Oh, dear.
Oh, and all these sticky notes have everyone's dietary preferences.
Have you tried Easy Cater? Online ordering from great restaurants, tools to save time and stay on budget, digital receipts in one place.
We're going to need a bigger recycling bin.
Easy Cater, the smarter, simpler way to order food for your workplace. Order now at easycater.com.
Save on your next oil change at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Choose Castrol Edge Full Synthetic Motor Oil to provide maximum performance and protection for your engine. Get a $15 gift card after rebate when you buy 5 quarts of Castrol Edge for $34.95, plus 2 times O Rewards points. Offer valid in-store and online at O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this: if something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month, with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
Tomorrow morning at 6, Ride to Work with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. Appreciate it by rolling through tonight. Also, I appreciate y'all hanging through, especially if you've been trying to listen on radio. I understand there have been some difficulties there. We are efforting getting that fixed and working to a better standard for y'all. So I appreciate it by hanging along with that. And if you ever have issues, we do stream all of our shows live on YouTube at SA Sports Star on YouTube. Go ahead and sync that to your car, lock it in. That's how I listen a lot of the times, because I can keep going where I left off when I get out of the car. So a lot of times I just Bluetooth in via YouTube, and that's kind of how I listen to it these days. Stephen Jones, the executive vice president and COO of the Dallas Cowboys, was in Indianapolis talking about a multitude of things, starting contract talks with Osa Odigizua, wanting to maybe prioritize getting a Micah deal done earlier. And he was asked about their path to free agency and if it would be any different this year than it was last year.
We're going to look at everything we can. We're going to be selectively aggressive. We obviously, there's things in this league you have to, you have certain amount of resources they allow you to have, and we'll look at that. But we're going to try to improve our football team. We're going to improve our football team, and we expect to have success next year.
Selectively aggressive. That's better than not aggressive at all, which was last season's plan for the Dallas Cowboys. Again, wait till the last second to sign CD, wait till the last second to sign Dak, and not really make any impact signings in free agency other than an April signing of bringing Zeke back finally after the draft. And that might have even been May, and adding an Eric Kendricks 5 weeks into free agency. Those were the big moves for the Dallas Cowboys last year. So let's hope that this year can be closer. And Steven did bring up trades and the potential of improving the team more than one way, trades being on the table for that. And that would be very good, because a couple of years ago, they did implement trades. They did go get a Brandon Cooks. They did go get a Stephon Gilmore, and that allowed them to improve their team and also improve their team in the immediacy while leaving flexibility for the long term in terms of, getting guys on 1 or 2 years left on their deal. So their future salary cap is not tied up and messed up, so that when they do extend potentially Osa, and they do re-sign Rico, and they do extend Micah Parsons, when those extensions kick in, it's not the same kind of hit that it's always been. Now, he did filibuster on whether he had any regrets about inactivity from last off season, making it seem like he didn't really want to get into that. He also talked about apathy and saying, fans care. They're mad. They're upset. Apathy is not that. And I agree. Apathy is like the Houston Texans from a few years ago. We are not there yet, but I do feel Cowboy fans getting closer and closer to that apathy. This has been Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I appreciate all of y'all rolling through with me tonight. Remember, call in, check on your loved ones. You never know what people are going through in life, and a little phone call can do a lot more than even you believe if someone is going through it. It's always just good to hear from those that you care about. This has been Extra Innings with Pledger. We'll see you tomorrow right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 FM.
Joel, it's fantastic to be a local business here in San Antonio.
Sure is, Nigel.
We always say, from the outhouse to the penthouse, we can plumb it and we can cool it.
And all that at a fair price with one easy phone call to 210-651-5